Inside the module, you'll find a vector class with 3 functions: init, str, and eq. I will give a brief description of these functions in case you are not familiar with Python. In that case, I also encourage you to make use of some of the resources in the instructor notes on this page. The initializer creates a vector based on an input list of coordinates, and also sets the dimension of space that the vector lives in. For example, if we wanted to create the vector 1, 2, 3, we could write my vector equals vector 1, 2, 3. Then my vector would be a variable referring to the vector that we want. The str function gives us the ability to print out the coordinates of the vector using Python's built-in print function. Using our example, if we input print my vector, we would receive the output vector : 1, 2, 3. The eq function gives us the ability to test whether 2 vectors are equal. As I mentioned earlier, 2 vectors are equal if they have the same amount of change in each coordinate direction. Therefore, since we are storing vectors using their coordinates, we just need to compare 2 vectors' coordinates. To see how this works in Python, we can input my vector 2 equals vector 1, 2, 3, and my vector 3 equals vector -1, 2, 3. Then, if we input print my vector equals my vector 2, we'll receive the output true, since all coordinates of my vector and my vector 2 match. On the other hand, if we input print my vector equals my vector 3, we'll receive the output false because the 2 vectors have different first coordinates. Now let's start defining some basic operations on vectors.